Welcome to this special episode of the Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast. My name is Dr. Michael Koku, your host, and it's my honor and privilege to have with me today Coach Isy. Hi, Coach Isy. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm very well today. Thank you, Dr. Michael Koku. It's such a privilege to be here with you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Now, let me just tell you about Coach Izzy because she's the only one that can tell you about herself. So, Coach Izzy, tell us something about yourself before I add mine to it.
Okay, so this is me. I am a woman of faith, and by the grace of God, I lead other women in my local community, in faith and with passion, to just be the best versions of themselves every day. So, I'm married. We lead a ministry in our local community in the United Kingdom. And we're blessed with two miracle children, Gabriel and Hadassah. My family is built on faith. So here I am, a product of faith. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Today we'll be focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. And this is so important because leadership is all about helping people to be more. And the good thing about today is just like it's going to be very, very transformational for so many emerging leaders listening to us and even established leaders. So, Coach, is it the first question I'd like to ask you today is this. At what point did you discover your leadership potential that you have that awareness came to you that, oh, I'm a leader, I'm a leader? At what point in your life did that awareness dawn on you?
Well, I would say in my university days,
Okay.
growing up back in Africa, in Nigeria, I was exposed to a lot of church roles with my parents. But when I moved into university, people started seeing things in me that I didn't even see in myself. And they gave me opportunities to lead small cell groups,
Mm,
small prayer groups, small groups. And from there, I was called to lead the welfare team and then the sisters team. It was that point I realized, okay, maybe I can speak to more people. Maybe my
mm,
voice could be louder and make
mm,
more impact. So it was really while serving in my
mm,
university days on campus fellowship that I realized that
mm,
there was something beyond what I thought I had.
mm. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So that means, it came on you in in your college days, and that's when you have the opportunity to serve. So it shows us that service has a lot of connection with awareness because if you have not done that, that gift will be sitting down inside of you and no one will know about it. So tell us,
I
so
agree.
after you became aware, because awareness is the first step to change. So what step did you take to develop that potential?
Well, again, like you said, awareness and then
Yeah.
service. I knew that there was room to serve. So, in the place where I was serving, I had to learn more about how I could speak to people coming from all over the country then to school.
Mm,
So as a sisters leader, for example, I had to give myself more to understand more about ladies. I'm one
mm,
of three boys. I've never really been among so many ladies before. So I gave myself to interact more with the ladies, hang out
mm,
more with them, learn more about what was needed at the time in fellowship.
mm,
And the thing at that time, accommodation in fellowship in university days was a big problem. So I had to learn more about the accommodation needs of people so
mm,
that when I speak to them, I was adding value or I was showing them where they could find accommodation or what they could do. So I needed to know what was the most important thing at the time. By that, I had to network with people, find out more from some hostel leaders, and people I knew then in positions that could help me. So, after awareness, I would say serving with these people in mind was a
mm,
big game changer to have a voice within the sisters group.
mm. That's awesome. But another thing I want to find out is what did you do to develop yourself? Because it's good to be aware, and after the awareness, if there's no intentional leadership development, it doesn't make any difference. You would just keep on serving because our team today is becoming the best version of yourself. And no one can become the best version of him or herself without leadership development or personal development. So, what have you done to nurture that seed to maturation? Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good question. And I think you hit the nail on the head there because at the time, I didn't know this was what I was doing, but I was leaning into like big sisters.
Mm,
Big sisters. Okay, I had people that had finished school, but by virtue of the proximity of our family house to the university, they will come back. So I leaned into them. It's only now I can say that that's what I was doing. But at the
mm,
time, I just took it for granted that, hey, big sis, you're in town, how can you, this is what's going on. So I gave myself to friendships of people that had gone ahead of me. Okay,
mm,
that was then. And I think that was very, very important for me now because all through all my roles I've played from university days up till today, that virtue I think has really helped me. Now I'm talking to you about it. I can almost picture every stage in my life where I had somebody or a group of people that I could always refer to. So, one strong point that I learned then in my university days, which I still use today, although at the beginning I didn't know it was a skill, was to just lean into these people that, okay, this is what's going on. How do I tackle it? What did you do in your time? So it's
mm,
staying close to people who's been
mm,
there before. There's a quote I've come across so many times that we're like dwarfs on the shoulders of giants and we
mm,
see what they see and more. So taking advantage of people, I use that word with due respect, but taking advantage of the relationships we have
mm,
with people who have been there before has been
mm.
a big pillar and strength to my journey today.
Well, I believe what you are referring to is the mentorship advantage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because one of the book I've written is the mentorship advantage, and that's why
Amazing.
this platform, the mentorship advantage, talks about the place of mentors in our life. That's why this podcast is called Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast. We emphasize the place of mentorship, so I can see. Because I like to put a word on things so that people that are listening can get
Yeah.
the word,
You
oh,
know,
this is what she's
yeah.
doing, even though it was, you are highly descriptive, very clarity and all that, but putting a word on it is talks about that was the power of mentorship. You are leaning to people that are ahead of you, asking questions, learning
Dr.
from them.
Coco, you couldn't have used any better words.
Mm.
Mentorship advantage. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because I know you were very uncomfortable when you were talking about taking advantage, like, oh, is it a good word to take advantage of
Because you don't
people?
want people to feel like you're taking
I
advantage
got
of
you, I
them.
got you.
That's
And
why I
that's
had to pay
why
you
I
respect.
came I came to your rescue. I came to
Uh,
rescue you because I want people to see it and I love the way it came out of you.
mm,
Because the thing is this, we all need mentors.
absolutely.
And in that book I said, mentors, they rescue us from tormentors.
Oh,
So and we need mentors. If you want to be the best version of yourself, mentorship is not an option,
mhm.
because I learned something of recent. I like to learn every day that you cannot cut short the work, but you can cut short
Johnny.
the
Mm,
learning curve. What mentors does is they help us to cut short the learning curve, but not the work. Because the work is what help us to become. The word work means
mhm,
to produce. It means to become, to create. So now, and that's what I want to focus on, that work now. So, and we have seen you've highlighted the place of mentorship, but I believe you also did some work on yourself. So tell us, how did you develop yourself? Because, and I want to tell everybody, this is how I met Coach Isy. Until last month, I never knew who Coach Isy is. I never knew that there's any Coach Isy on planet Earth. So I attended the Maxwell Leadership. We do have international Maxwell conference twice a year, and I was in Orlando, and she was one of the stage speakers. And for information, we have more than almost more than 60,000 coaches. So for you to make it to be 10 people that will be on stage, that means there's something about you. And she was one of those top 10 people that end up speaking on the stage. So of course, there have been so many drilling, so many, she has to go through so many screening to get to that level. So, and it's not just being on stage, but what came out of her was awesome. I tell you, it was classic. The delivery, she's such a great communicator that even people were really cheering her up.
Oh,
Even when
thank
I
you.
get to see her one-on-one, as I was cheering her, other people were just cheering, like, wow, wow, wow. Oh, I thought it was just me. It was just me. And that's how I invited her, and that's how she became my friend. I like to become friend of great people. That's my secret.
No,
if,
Dr. Koku,
if
like
if
I
you want to be
always
great,
say,
just look for great people and become their friend.
absolutely. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm leaning towards you,
You see
Dr.
what she's
Koku.
doing to me?
That's exactly what I'm doing because I mean, I met Dr. Coco when I went to the International Maxwell Conference and we were taking details and people were shouting, "Hey, Dr. Coco." And I was like, "Hey, hey, hey." I mean, there's so much life in this guy and
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
privileged to be here today on
Wow.
your podcast.
Wow. Same
And
here.
you're
Mm,
talking about what I did.
mm.
I would just go straight to what I did in the Maxwell conference.
Yeah.
Okay, I joined the Maxwell team just a few months ago, really,
Wow. Can you
as a
imagine
gift to
that?
myself. Yeah, I said to my husband, I said, you know what, this year I want to grow in a different way. So
Mm,
I went and gracefully I had met a lady called Bridget last year, and she
mm.
just mentioned casually that, I'm part of the Maxwell Leadership. And I was learning something else. I was going through their marriage counselors training
Okay.
to become a marriage counselor. And she mentioned it, and I thought, okay, I'll just go Google this up. I know John Maxwell, but I didn't know there was anything like the conference. So this
Mm,
year I decided to plug in, and we gifted it to me. I went for the conference, I registered, and then I got told during, again, the mentorship advantage is I can't even overemphasize that. So during
mm.
one of the virtual calls, the mentors were just mentor Roddy Galbraith was speaking,
The
and then
speaking mentor. Yeah. Mm,
he's a speaking mentor, and then
mm,
he was talking, and I said, you know what about this? And he said, Issy, you can really do this. You'll be crazy if you don't go for stage time. So I'm like, what stage time? And it's a gathering of over 60, so many people, to
mm,
to get to be one of the 10 that was selected to speak on John Maxwell stage was a big achievement. Now, what did I do? Like I said, I started very late. I was one of the last applicants, so I had 3 weeks to do this. I
mm,
gave myself 100%.
mm,
I practice. I checked on Roddy, is this good enough? I was practicing and I share my story. Like I would hold a microphone practicing because that's what they tell you. You've got to be really practical. I recorded myself
mm.
for that speech over 2,000 times,
Really?
excluding the ones I deleted. Because if you're to get that opportunity of a lifetime,
Mm,
you have to use it. So
mm,
I gave my all. I asked Roddy, is this good enough? We walk through my script, do it this way, take this off, do this. He told me all the things I needed to do to make the impact I needed to make. And
mm,
that day I went on stage and I spoke, and life has not been the same since I
mm.
stepped down that
Yeah.
stage. It was a great privilege. So what did I do? I leaned into Roddy. Roddy is the speaker mentor on the Maxwell
Mm,
Leadership Training
mm,
Program. I leaned into him, asked him questions, sent all, just did everything I needed to do
mm,
to get his guidance every time.
mm.
And
Wow.
yes, so that
Wow.
was the work he I had to.
Wow. Okay. As a trained physician, and I like to be analytic. So, let me just analyze something for the sake of the audience, for the benefit of the audience. Our theme today is how to become the best version of yourself. Now, there's something I've really highlighted, apart from what I know before. And now synchronizing it with what you're sharing. And so I've heard today about now, it's not just the mentorship advantage. You choose to invest in yourself. And you said this year you make up your mind that you heard from a friend that you're going to join the Maxwell Leadership, and that's a lot of investment, and you didn't just took the dive to certification level. You went to the mentorship level, which make you to do a lot of stuff. Now, let me bring this thing close where we will start diving into the second phase of this podcast, which is the latter phase. There's something I learned from Chris Robinson a long time ago, and I repackaged it into LAMP. This is LAMP. This is Leadership Advanced to Mentorship Podcast. And so this is it. If you want to excel, thrive in any area of your life, you need to know these things, these four things. And the acronym is LAMP, LAMP. So the L is learn as much as you can in that area, in that field. And that means in-depth learning, not just surface learning. And the A is application. So putting into application what you learn to create your own personal experience. And the M is mentorship. The M is mentorship, the mentorship advantage. You need to lean in, into a mentor. And that's what you're doing with Roddy and all that. You have a mentor as a guide. And then the last aspect, which is the P, is you need a peer. So peer are positive, energizing, enriching relationships and people that going the same direction that you're going. Yeah. So how does this
Oh, I like your acronyms, by the way,
yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Koku.
I want us
Woo,
to
you
give
are on
I want us
fire
to
with these
give people
acronyms.
something they can go in. So just
Yes.
in the light of lamp, how does your experience, how is it symmetric? How does it sing resonate with what I just shared with you?
Okay, so um up till January 1st, 2025, I've been learning.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that what I've learned
Mm,
from when I signed up on Maxwell Leadership to
mm,
grow myself, to
mm,
improve myself, up till today, it would have probably taken me 6 years, if not 7 years or more. So
mm,
I've done a lot of reading. My
mm,
reading now is on another level. I read
mm,
books a lot.
mm,
I have audiobooks. I've got on my Spotify when I'm walking, I'm driving, I'm reading books, I'm improving myself. I mean, I was
mm.
listening to John Maxwell. He has no chance of having dementia because his brain
Yes,
always
it's
working,
active. Yeah,
always active. So
yeah.
I've learned even, just to keep my brain going and
Mm,
also to develop myself. So I've done a lot of reading. I've applied a lot of the things I've learned. And then, I've got mentors, and it's interesting that even though I've got a speaking mentor, I've also got a coaching mentor. And
mm,
then when I went to IMC, I realized that there were systems that could help me. So
yeah,
I leaned into those people in charge of the systems, the speaking system. There's a system that the John Maxwell team,
yeah.
such a great place, they introduced me to. So I've got a relationship now with those mentors. So even though I'm in the speaking field, I've also
Mm,
got mentors that are helping me with the systems to
mm,
to grow the speaking thing. So
mm,
I'm making most of every, and there's so much resources on this platform. I'm making the most of all the resources. And then I've got peers. I mean, from
mm,
the day I stepped off that stage, I
mm,
met Dr. Koku. He's just one of the
mm,
thousands of people I've met. I'm trying to keep in touch with people, want to collaborate, people want to support me, people are asking
mm,
how can I support them, and how,
mm,
vice versa. So, and I've taken um exponential steps since the
mm,
day I stepped off that stage, really.
mm,
Where I am now, and the
mm.
access that this lamp, if you like, in
Yeah.
Dr. Cooker's words, the
Mm,
access lamp has given me,
mm,
through Maxwell program.
mm,
It's phenomenal. I've got
mm,
peers all around the world. I mean,
mm,
I'm in the
mm,
UK. Dr. Coco is in America now. I've got
mm,
people that I'm in the they're in Canada, all around the world wanting to connect.
mm.
So this mentorship and the intentionality behind my wanting to grow,
Yeah.
leaning into the mentors, has
Mm.
changed the trajectory of my whole business
Wow.
life.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
thank
Wow,
you.
that's great. So tell us, so if what will you tell little easy,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you have a little easy coming to you and said, how can I be the best version of myself? So what will your current easy tell the little easy?
Don't leave it till your 40s. Just start
Mm,
now. So
mm,
every day, who are you associating with? Jim Rohn says you're who you are today, except for the books you read and the people you associate yourself with. So, what book are you reading today? How are you developing your mind? Read something today. Check your circle, your
mm,
friends. What are they? How are they influencing you? They
mm,
would either sharpen you or make
mm,
you dull. So, to be
mm,
the best version of yourself, you've got to improve yourself on a daily basis. Check your circle. And I would say this to my daughter or my little girl very early. I wouldn't wait until she's an adult. Yeah, start
mm.
today. Every day
Wow, wow,
an
wow. Yeah. So
opportunity.
you highlighted two things. You talk about books and then company.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because and which is very, very true, and because you can grow beyond the circle that you have around you, and so many people are just the victim of the association. And I wrote
absolutely.
a book 2 years ago called The Beautiful People,
Mm,
and talking about the kind of people that you need around you. And so it's very important to be intentional about who we allow in our inner circle, yeah.
mm,
So that's awesome. So what else can you tell Little Easy? I mean, after okay, Little say, okay, yeah, you want me to read books, okay, books and association, okay. So what else does Little Easy need to put into perspective to become? Because becoming a better version of ourselves, and I love what you said,
mm,
daily improvement
mm,
because continual improvement is what Mark Twain said is better than delayed perfection. So, what
mhm.
else will you tell Little Easy or any emerging leaders listen to us now that they just want to say, "Oh, I want to become the best version of myself." So, what else? What are the factors that has helped you?
Mm.
Yeah, what are these factors?
I would say, in very practical and simple terms, at the end of every day, do a self-assessment.
Okay, like a
Where did
reflection.
a reflection, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Where did I not do where did I not hit 10 if my grade is up to 10? Can I
Hmm.
hit 10? Okay.
Hmm.
In those very, very intentional and your value system will drive you to know the areas where you need to be hitting 10. So ask
Hmm.
yourself every day the
Hmm.
an assessment or reflection at the end of the day and be intentional the next day to start from that point. Today I'm going to hit 10. I'm going to make sure I read this book. I'm going to speak to somebody. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to
Hmm.
stop this habit. Everything. Where did I stop yesterday and how can I improve? A daily self assessment is something I would also say we should do. As much as we take on board the other things that we need to do, the learning, the mentorship, the books, the peer, but critical, be very honest with yourself. Do your
Hmm.
daily reflection at the end of the day.
Hmm.
How can I do better tomorrow? Because becoming
Wow.
a better version of yourself is
Hmm.
improving on the things that you fell short on yesterday intentionally.
Wow. Also, and I like the way you mentioned reflection. I like to tell people about three questions that they can ask themselves at the end of each day, and what went wrong, what went right, and what can I do differently.
Oh,
And
absolutely. I like that.
yeah, yeah. Now, I want to hit another note right now as we begin to wrap up. And the note I want to hit is talking about becoming the best version of ourselves. So, what factors do you think is hindering people from becoming the best version of themselves? Yeah.
Well, I think people have diverse situation, but the bottom line
Mm,
is fear
mm,
and also the notion of what will people think or
mm,
I don't have enough to start.
mm,
So I found myself in that boat for a very long time. So I had to do
mm,
a lot of work on myself to realize that, you know what, I've got something in me that I could give out.
mm,
So not letting what people say about you or people's
mm,
perspective of you is interesting because today I was just reading something with my son about, what God says about you is more important than what any other person says. So
mm,
getting the truth about yourself
Mm.
intrigues, and they're not from other people, would help you to
Mm.
take that step. And,
Mm.
and if you've got a vision, if your vision keeps you on the bed, then review your vision. Your vision should
Mm.
be strong enough to propel you to get out of the bed, strong
Mm.
enough to silence the voices that say you shouldn't, strong enough to say, you know what, I'm going to go for this, irrespective of what people think about me. So overcome fear, overcome
Mm.
excuses in your mind that keep telling you that you cannot do this, because guess what, everybody has a million and plus excuses not to do. Even the people making names today, if you sat down with them and asked them their excuses, they could give you excuses, but they've
Mm.
decided to go over the excuses. So
Yeah.
put excuses to one side and do
Mm.
what you've been called to do.
Wow. Wow. This is awesome. I think that's a mic drop up there. So, in closing, how can people find you? And
Well,
if people want to say, wow, this lady is on fire. that means that means
well,
on fire means like, wow, you got so much to
maybe
learn
you've got
from
to
you.
meet Dr. Koku. He will point you to me. But yeah, you can find me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I'm the praying spouse, or I'm just simply Isy
So
Mba.
how can they find you? Just like what would they look for on Facebook? Is it the same name?
Yes, Isy Mba. Just look for Isy Mba on Facebook and you'll find me there. I
Okay.
also run a company which is just about to kick off. It's called LightBulb Konsults, Leading with Clarity.
Woo!
So that's coming up soon. You should be able to find that as well through my page or directly on the Facebook as well.
Wow. Light bulb consult. I'm
It
just
is
curious. Why
LightBulb.
did you name it light bulb consult?
Because when light comes, your path will be illuminated and you can
Hmm.
see with clarity. When you can see with clarity, you can lead
Hmm.
yourself with clarity and then
Hmm.
be able to lead others with clarity. You can't lead in
Wow.
the dark. So that's
Wow. Wow. Oh, Coach Isy,
so
thank
light bulb and lamp. Yeah.
I know. I was wondering too. I didn't know you picked that out.
Dear.
That was
Thank you.
awesome. You know
Thank you
what,
so
Coach Isy,
much.
we want to say thank you. We know you're busy, and thank you for your time today in sharing what you just shared with us. And we want to really appreciate all the gems and those things. And I believe many people all around the world watching this podcast will be really inspired and they will get to do something. Do you have any closing comments for people as we go?
Well, I would say what I said during the IMC conference. My last statement was there comes a time where we all have to swap the broken lenses that see fear, limitation, and impossibility. And this
Hmm.
is the time to put on the lenses that says hope, courage, and a bright future. Thank you.
Wow, this is interessante. Thank you,
Thank
viewers.
you so
I
much.
believe you've gotten so much from what Coach Isy shared with us today. And before I come your way next time with another great leader, don't forget input without action will bring false progress. Transformation comes through application, not just information.
Mm.
So don't forget to put into practice what you've just learned to keep on improving and elevating your leadership. Till I come your way, don't forget, keep leading. Bye.